Hey, welcome back to the Frank Driscoll Show. I have special guest, the guy I've been chasing for a while, Reyes, the entrepreneur. Reyes, thank you so much for coming on the show. Just to give a quick shout out for this guy, guys, he is, when a lot of people ask me, what shows do I watch when I'm not filming these or doing my coaching and my things? And to be honest, he's a show I never miss, so please subscribe to his show, Reyes, the entrepreneur. He's very entertaining. The guy's amazing. And I am so happy because I saw him before I blew up, but I wanted to welcome you to the Frank Driscoll Show. Reyes, how you doing today?
Hey, man, I just want to start off by saying thank you for having me. And honestly, I'm doing great right now.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Reyes has an amazing show called Reyes the Entrepreneur. It's on YouTube. He's got an Instagram and a bunch of other places as well. Tell us what you were doing before you did that particular show.
So pretty much I have a YouTube channel where I teach people how to start small home businesses, vending shirts, eBay. But before that, honestly, I was just living life. I was, my early 20s, going out, working, and I was just an average person until I decided I wanted more from life and I wanted more from myself. And that's when I took on YouTube.
Perfect. And guys, when I was watching him, he really had it blown up. Keep in mind, Reyes, and I'm sure it's going to grow a lot larger than now, but he's got over 2 million views. Okay, so for those of you that think, I'm just putting out content, it's never going to happen to me, I'm never going to take off. Let me tell you, it can happen, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And what really gave you that motivation to keep going, even though you weren't getting all of those views right at the beginning?
Yeah,
weren't making money yet. Go ahead.
So pretty much I started in 2015. And I didn't start making money till 2018 at the end of it. And what kept me going was I felt like I found my true passion of teaching. I love teaching. And I knew I wasn't making any money off YouTube, but I knew little by little people started watching my content. And I just remember telling myself, as long as I could help one person with that free 99 knowledge I give, I'm going to keep doing this. And that's my whole motivation, my passion for teaching. And of course, I hate having a job, bro. I hate people telling me what to do, when to wake up, how to dress. And I knew being an entrepreneur was going to be the only way I was going to be able to have freedom of my life. And sure enough, I have all the freedoms I want right now.
Oh, I love it, Reyes. It makes me so happy. For anyone out there that's watched the show and understands the journey and all the things this guy has done, it's so exciting to hear how passionate you are for the teaching element. And I love that even if just a few people are watching it, not to give up, just keep pushing it, because it's going to happen over time that you're going to build. And the other thing, one thing that we enjoy as entrepreneurs, we love that freedom of being able to make our own decisions, do our own things, right? And I mean, look, you should be willing to pay the price, any price that you have to be able to have that opportunity. I mean, that's extremely exciting. Reyes, now I have a question. Go ahead.
A lot of people see that, hey, he just kept making YouTube videos until one blew up. No, there was a lot of sacrifices and a lot of decisions in the middle that it hurt me making those decisions. But I had to do it because I had to follow my passion. And I'm just grateful it worked out.
Oh, man, I'm super excited and happy. Let me ask you this. One of your catchphrases, but Reyes, right? I always am looking for on any video. Where did that come from? When did you start doing it? And why do you do that, everyone? Is that your catchphrase now?
You know what? Honestly, when I first started, I was just making videos. And then I would get so many people responding in the comments. But Reyes, I can't do that. I don't have enough money. But Reyes, I don't have a car. But Reyes, what about the gas? So I just kept saying it. And I noticed people would say it in the comments. And at first, I thought they were making fun of me. Like, but Reyes, like, am I saying it funny? But over time, it just caught on. And it's kind of like that humor, that comedy break in my videos so people know, hey, this guy gives a lot of knowledge, but he tries being entertaining.
Absolutely. And I think you definitely, I mean, when I watch a show, I'm watching from start to finish, and I'm hooked. Like I'm a fan too. guys. So definitely check it out. But it has a lot. Like I remember one particular episode, and you were out collecting like cans, and you wanted to see how much money could you make if you spent all day collecting.
Oh man, I hated that day, by the way.
So I was going, wow, I was always curious, right? I wanted to see what you did, and I wanted to stay to the end because there was a hook that I wanted to see how much you made, and you out there doing it and hustling, right? Like on your videos, you really do all the things that you're showing, right? You're authentic, and I think that rings and really carries forward through people. Like it's authentic and genuine, and you know it's so much of a fun journey for you to explore with us. To see that, even if it's a small amount, like on the cans, I thought it'd be more and it wasn't, but I still love that you did it.
Yeah.
But it's a fun journey with you going through it, and you know your hustle and watching you learn as we learn too. I mean, it's an awesome show. What has been some of your favorite episodes that you filmed?
You know what? Honestly, I love all my episodes because I put so much love into them. But my favorite episodes are the ones that get a lot of views. Because that tells me my audience enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed watching my videos.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What was it like after all these years of just working so hard to then finally get that moment where you realized, hey, I'm really starting to get a little bit of taste of success where I can really do this on my own and hit that million view mark, even though I know you're more than that, and know that, wow, I can really do this. What was that moment like when you hit 1 million views?
Oh man, I remember I would update it every 5 minutes to see the views. I remember me and my girl, I remember the day, man, we were going to Dave and Buster's and I made her drive so I could keep updating the video. And once I was fighting for my 1 million viewed video for a long time. Like I honestly thought the can video was going to be my 1 million viewed video. It wasn't. And then this video, honestly, it was one of those videos that we just did on the spot real quick, and it turned out to be one of my most viral videos. So that kind of shows you and tells you, you don't know what videos are going to go viral. But if you just keep swinging, eventually you're going to hit that home run.
Absolutely. And like I said, I knew that must have been an exciting day for you, you know, because I had seen it before all of this happened. I've been following you for a while now. Yeah. And to see that rise. And then one of the things, too, that sets you apart from so many others, you show how much you make from this. You show the journey. You show your ups and downs. What has been one of moment that was really a hardship, that was something that was really difficult for you to come over, or in your experience of going through this?
You know what? Honestly, showing people that these things I'm trying, like realistically, they're not making a lot of money. And sometimes I fight myself. Should I show this? Should I show that? But in the end, I'm a role model and I'm leading by example. And I'm not trying to convince anybody to start doing something. I just want to show you the good and the bad so you can make your own decision.
No, perfect. And I think that's why it's so attractive. That's why it lures people in, because you're not trying to show all the highlights, right? Like when we do like a vending machine, like the candies, you know, and sometimes they're good, sometimes you make more, but you're going to show them the ups and downs, or just even the struggles to find those locations, right? Which I always think is pretty tough, but you get in there and you bang it out and you find them, right? From hustle, where most people, they don't want to put in the work. They just want to hand it to them.
You're absolutely right. And then also I like showing the hustle, because I know no matter what struggle I'm going through, I'm going to get over it. And if I show the struggle and then I show how I got over it, that's going to give the audience confidence that, hey, this guy was going through a hard time and got over it. I could do the same.
What do you think has been your biggest epiphany, your big aha moment, where like as you were doing this, you figured something out either on YouTube or even as an entrepreneur? Like, what was that moment that caused you to really go, man, I'm going to be good at this?
You know what? YouTube. Okay, I started YouTube 2015. Before that, I was going through a lot of ups and downs. And my aha moment was when I first became homeless, when I was about 21. That's when I got kicked out of my house. I didn't have a lot of money. I was working at Taco Bell. And I remember the second night I slept in my car outside of my Taco Bell parking lot. because I had to work in the morning. And right there and there, that's when I hit a really low moment in my life. And I told myself, I put myself in this situation, but I could get myself out. And right there and there, I told, it's like a light switch saying, yo, I'm just going to work hard to save money so I never have to struggle again. And then we'll see how it goes. Sure enough, 6 months later, I had $10,000 in the bank because I got a second job. I was doing my eBay business. And honestly, man, I put myself through hell because I would work a regular job in the morning and then the graveyard shift at night. And then in between, I would do my eBay orders. And there was a couple of times, I mean, I'm not telling people to do this, but there was a couple of times where I would fall asleep while driving. I would just doze off. And I'm like, dang, what am I doing to myself? But I stuck to that goal. And once I hit $10,000, boom, right there, I could achieve anything I want to achieve. I'm going to go through struggles and I'm going to take steps back. But as long as I don't quit moving forward and staying focused, I could achieve anything. And that's the same mentality. And that mentality has been with me since that point. And I knew YouTube, it was going to take a long time, maybe even years, to make any money. But I knew if I just stay focused and keep doing this, it's going to pay off sooner or later. Then that's it. That was my big aha moment.
Look, and that's an awesome thing. I love that hitting the ground, right? Hitting rock bottom, getting kicked out, having to really pull yourself up and realize, I love the one thing you said, you caused it to happen.
Yep.
This was all from you. This wasn't just bad luck or this or whatever. And your success is from you as well. And once you realize that you're empowered to be able to accomplish these things, it's almost as if nothing can stop you. Now you have momentum. Now it's like picking what's my next project, what's my next things. Yeah. What advice would you tell people that are watching this right now? They're struggling or even to start to get going. What kind of things could you tell them to help them to really help get going?
One of the things I learned a long time ago is you need to take 100% responsibility of your life. The people around you, the situation around you, you put yourself there. But the good thing is that you could get yourself out. So a lot of people like blaming their parents, their friends, their job, the economy. No, you have full control who you hang around with. Yeah, you can't change your family, but that doesn't mean you have to be with your family. Yeah, sure, the economy is bad, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying to get a better job or start a business. You have full control of your life. That's it. Once you realize that and accept that everything that happens to you is because it's not your fault, but you have control over it. Sure, let's say I'm driving and then someone hits me. Hey, I couldn't do nothing about it, but I could control how I react to it. And I choose to stay calm, make sure everybody's okay, and then just handle it.
I love it. I love that no matter what happens, you're in control of it.
Yep.
I try to take that same approach, and say, hey, whatever happens, I'm still going to have a great day. Like straight up, even though people don't understand it, like sometimes like, what? No, because you know what? I'm going to control the part I can control, and I completely agree.
And just like anybody else, I have my bad days. I have those days where I'm just down. Me and my girl might be fighting. I'm going through some issues at work, through YouTube. Like when I got copyrighted, oh, bro, I got a real big headache. And I was not depressed, but I was like, dang, I'm working so hard on my videos. And most of that money is going to somebody else. But I control what I do. And I chose to keep going because I didn't start YouTube for the money. I started YouTube because I love to teach.
And it's awesome. And for those of you guys who don't know, he had a few music that he purchased legally, but he had to prove and send in. And until he did, he was losing money on video. Some guy was taking like all of the money from these killer ones that had millions of views. Yep. We're stealing his money, but it took time to get it back, and he still hasn't even recovered that. He just moves forward, correct?
You're absolutely right. And he took average about $3,000 because it took 3 weeks for me to get proof and fight that claims. Because once I put the files and fight the claim, he has up to 30 days to respond back. During those 30 days, that's when he was getting all that ad revenue. But I chose, see, something bad happened to me, but I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to blame YouTube. I'm just going to say, you know what? That happened. I'm going to keep going. And instead of complaining about 3,000, I'm going to go work and make 6,000 to make up for it.
No, it's totally. And I'm so glad that you ended up winning that, right? And it goes in because, like, for those of you who don't know, he has a great intro. Like, you know, he ties it in. Tell us a little bit about that. When did you originally put that on your videos? Like, you know, how long ago did you start adding in, you know, your intro? That's great. It's very catchy.
You know what? Like a year ago, to be honest. I got that song. I just loved the beat. And I put in the intro. And that guy's copyrighted the intro. He wasn't even copyrighting the music. He was copyrighting the whole video until I showed proof that I had license to use those songs. But you know what? One thing I learned is don't depend on one intro. Even though I loved it and people got used to it, I'm switching it up just in case it happens again. Not all my videos are gonna get claimed.
Exactly. I agree with that. So kind of diversifying your risk a little bit on those intros. And then, like, for people now, a little bit like to help with YouTube growth the channel. Now, I noticed also another key thing that you started doing is you didn't want to be fully dependent on just YouTube. I think when you had those things, you're like, okay, I want to start going on other platforms to make sure that my brand can keep going forward. So what advice would you to do besides just YouTube? What are things that you think people should be on to promote, you know, your content and get it out there? What are things that you use?
Well, to get my content out there is the number one thing is show love to your audience. You need to build your community of followers because those people are the ones who are going to watch your videos. They're going to like, comment, and they're going to share your videos. So you have to show love to the people. Whether you have one person, 100, 1,000, 1,000,000, show them love.
One thing that you do so well, and you got to understand, guys, he has so many comments. Okay, I know this takes some time. I can tell you on every single comment I have ever posted, and I post a lot. You know, if he knows, he's always seeing me, you know, trying to be supportive. He always responds back to my comment, which means he cares and he gets it and he goes back through. And I know that takes you some time to do all of those, but he doesn't just say this stuff. He actually helps. And on other episodes that I've seen, and tell me about this one, you've actually got someone that you're trying to help and you're showing the experience of trying to put in vending machines or trying to find locations. Tell us a little bit about those episodes and what you're trying to show in those.
Well, I'm always trying to find different ways of teaching people. And I want to try something new where instead of me trying to grow a business, I teach somebody else how to grow a business so people could see that, hey, that knowledge works for a lot of people, not just him. And that's pretty much my mentality with it.
It's awesome to see them, you know, go out there and now they're trying to get locations and you're sharing it and passing it on. What do you think, like when you first were starting and you started to build your following, did you ever think it was just going to get crazy like this with millions of people, you know, watching your content? And I honestly just think it's going to keep growing. Did you see it that it would eventually get to this level?
Yeah, because even when I first started, I put pretty much all my eggs on this. Don't get me wrong, I had regular jobs, but me personally, I didn't have a plan B. It was either make YouTube work or become an entrepreneur. But I was gonna put as many years as it took to make YouTube work. And I knew sooner or later I was gonna become somebody of an influence with entrepreneurs. And I wanted to be that role model that so many people need in their life. And yeah, man, even though in the beginning I had to lie to myself. And when I was down, no views, no money, you know, I kept telling myself, one day this is going to work. One day. Deep down in my mind, I kept telling myself, yo, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Go get a regular job. But no, I just kept lying to myself. This is going to work out. Here's the thing. Once you keep, whatever you tell yourself, the more you tell it, the more you're going to believe it. So I told myself, this is going to work. This is going to pay off. And I actually started believing it. And 2 years later, once I started my first video, I still wasn't making any money. But I just said, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this as long as it takes for it to be successful. And
Man.
until that one video finally blew up, that's when it changed everything. And that's when I knew this is going to be the start of the next chapter in my life.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm as happy as anyone could be for someone. I'm to watch your journey and see all those struggles, all those things, sleeping in the car, doing all those things, and I'm the biggest fan rooting for you. So it's awesome. Let me ask you this: what's non-negotiable? What is something that you're not going to do no matter what? Is there anything that you have a rule? You ain't, no matter what, you're not doing it.
Work with bad or negative people.
Okay.
That's it. I like working with people who are trying to build themselves. I'm trying to work with people who might not have everything ready, but they're optimistic. Because here's the thing, negativity, it's contagious. You have that one negative person in your life, that's going to affect you all day, and it's going to start making you negative. So that's one thing I always try to make sure. I don't work with negative people, and I don't work with bad people. You know, people who are trying to gain something or who just don't have a good heart, in my opinion.
No, I'm with you on that. And it's funny. Those kind of compromises are very important. I completely agree with the negative. If for those that are watching, try it. Don't answer the call of the negative person for a week and see how much better you feel, right? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, for sure.
You know what? I actually had to cut. Once I started taking this journey, and I had to cut a lot of people, even family members, out of my life because they just didn't understand what I was trying to do in my life. And instead of me trying to convince them, I told them, you know what? I wish you the best, but I'm going to go do what I have to do for myself. Hopefully you understand, but whether you do or not, I'm still going to do me.
Perfect. And, you know, and I feel the same way. Reyes, what's next step on the journey? Where do you see the next year or two for you going, and what kind of things are you going to be getting into? And give us a little preview.
Well, definitely a million views. I mean, a million subscribers. That's my big goal. I'm going to try my hardest to hit it by the end of the year. You know, I'm still studying the algorithm. I think I got it down, but we'll see in the next. Look, if in my next 4 videos, if one of them goes viral, just know I did my homework. Well, here's the thing. I'm grateful to say that money isn't an issue anymore. So now I'm trying to build my legacy, meaning what are people going to remember me for? And also, how many lives can I change with what I have to offer? And pretty much, if I want to become a millionaire, I have to help 1 million people. And that's my goal.
Man, I love it, guys. Please, please make sure you subscribe to him. He is really the real deal, the genuine. I mean, watching his success, I'm telling you, is phenomenal because I remember when he wasn't this, okay? So please, you know, hook him up. Hit me too, but him even more, okay? Next step, if there's people watching out here, is there anything else that you would want to say to them to kind of anything that you think would be helpful from your journey? You know, just anything that help them encourage when they're still struggling and they're just not there yet.
Here's the thing. I notice a lot of people, they want to wait for the perfect moment, or they want to wait till they have enough for this and that. My best advice, get started and then learn as you go. Because one thing I say in almost all my interviews, you're not going to have all the answers when you first start, but you will get the answers as you keep going, learning, growing. So please, yes, do some research, but the most important thing is action. Do what you have to do to move to the next step.
I love it. Ray, look, guys, follow that up. I completely agree with him. Just getting started is often the hardest part, that first step. You know, making the first interview for me, probably his first video, or taking some kind of action. I think once you do that, it gets a lot easier. Correct, Reyes?
You're absolutely right. Because look, here's the thing. There's people who want to make the best clay. You know, when people do the clay base thingy, base, you know, there's people that want to try it one time and get it perfect. And there's people that are willing to try 100 times, mess up. But who's going to have a better base at the end of the day? The person who tried 100 times, because they learned to trial and error and then now they have experience.
Perfect. Well, I would say what, Reyes, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Please, everyone, like, subscribe, go to him, get him comments, learn it. He teaches you so much great stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's very inspirational. I'm a fan. I'll be watching. And please like and subscribe and share these videos with others. Thank you so much for having you on the show. I look forward to it. And I know we're going to talk again. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks again, Reyes, for coming on. Go to Reyes the Entrepreneur. Take care.